Hi there, I made this video on some of the strangest symptoms that people get from anxiety. You may have some of these symptoms and some of them may surprise you. I'm David Williams, coming to you from the Beyond Anxiety Method, and if you like this video, give it a like, please subscribe. So let's dive in. Now, anxiety affects us in so many different ways, and I've divided these symptoms into two categories, both mental and physical. So here are some of the more unusual and weird mental symptoms that people get. The first one is derealization. Now, derealization is when we feel like the world around us is fake. We feel like we're looking at it from the outside in. We feel like we're not part of it. We're looking at it through a glass. Everything doesn't feel right. We feel all disconnected. And as we go through, please do put a comment in the comment box if you experience any of these experiences. And this can be a little bit scary because you don't know what's going on. Your whole perspective has changed. And the second one is depersonalization, and that is where we feel like we're observing ourselves. Feel like we're observing ourselves in the situation, like we're looking at ourselves from a third person. So we're very much not in the moment, we're looking at ourselves from an outside perspective. And this is super common when it comes to anxiety, so don't worry if this does happen. And I remember going through this when I was experiencing anxiety too. Now, this one is not so weird, it's super common, but it is weird if you think about it. When we get anxious, we think that we can develop magical thinking. We seem to think we have the ability to, one, predict the future, exactly how every event's going to go, and two, we start to believe that we can mind read people as well. We know exactly what they think about us, what they're thinking about what we've just said, our behaviors, our actions. None of us are psychic in that way. None of us are, X-Men. We don't have these superhuman powers. You cannot know what someone else is thinking, and you cannot predict the future as much as we would like to. And anxiety is always going to convince you that something bad is going to happen, or it's going to convince you that someone thinks bad of you, you're going to make a fool of yourself, etc., etc., etc. It's magical thinking. It's not fact. It is just your mind playing games with you. And the other one that's slightly strange is we can find ourselves adopting other people's symptoms as well. And that's why I find it very challenging when I look in anxiety support groups online, because quite often it is just people talking about their symptoms, which I don't think is particularly helpful. Because to be surrounded by symptoms, you start to sort of get panicky. Oh God, have I got that going on? We can start to adopt these things. Our mind can start to tell us all kinds of stories. So the Facebook group that I've got within the Beyond Anxiety Method is that safe space. It's all about getting support. It's all about what action can I take, what techniques can I try, what step within the Beyond Anxiety Method can I use, as opposed to people just listing their symptoms, because that makes you think of your symptoms and then you put them symptoms in there, and it becomes a really unhealthy place to be in. So if you are in any of those Facebook groups, then please do be careful that you're not just scrolling and scrolling looking through symptoms, because it is not going to help you at the end of the day. So now some of the weird physical symptoms that we get. Now, one thing that can be affected is your eyes. We can get blurry vision, which can be really disturbing when you're just trying to go about your life and it's kind of blurry. Now, what happens when we go into anxiety is we're going to fight or flight response, which is where you're hyper aware, your body is designed to be protecting you. Now, what happens then is your pupils dilate to let more light in so you can observe your environment even better. And it can be this constantly having your pupils dilated and so much light getting in that can cause it to be blurry. It can also cause those little floaters as well. I don't know if you've ever seen them, kind of like sparkly shapes that seem to float around in your field of vision. I remember getting this all the time and I thought, God, something's wrong with my eyes, something's going on, something massive is happening for me. It wasn't. It was all related to anxiety. Now, something I always used to get and that I hear is quite common with other people as well is an internal twitching. Now, this was a really weird thing. You know how you get like a leg twitch? This felt like there was a twitch going on deep inside. Now, this can be because our muscles are used to being held in so much tension and they're getting exhausted, and they can just start twitching and malfunctioning because they've been overstimulated. Because when we go into fight or flight response, our muscles get that extra tension, so we're ready to fight something off or to run away. Either way, to take action really, really quickly. So if you've got these internal flickerings going on, don't worry, your insides aren't going to explode. It just means that your muscles are having a spasm, and it's just a general sign that you're not generally very relaxed. So that's why it's really important for you to start looking at ways that you can relax your mind and your body. And if you are interested, you can always head over to beyondanxietymethod.com, link in the description, to find out some ways to do that too. Now, the other thing is dry mouth. This is a hideous, horrible thing to be experiencing, and it can happen when we do deep, rapid breathing, you know, because quite often when we're anxious, we're breathing like this, we're breathing deeper, we're breathing from our shoulders, you know, and it's trying to, you know, get more oxygen in so that we're ready to fight, but we're not fighting, we're just sitting there. So this extra air that we're bringing through can give us a really, really dry mouth. So make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Make sure that you've got something like a nice cold ice lolly is useful to use in this situation. But if you're getting a dry mouth, it could be because you've got anxiety going on as well. Now, headaches and jaw tension. This is a real big thing because most headaches actually come from muscle tension, and you've obviously got your muscles that run up the back of your neck and connect into the bottom of your skull. Now, if you are experiencing high muscle tension, then you are likely, you know, that your headaches could be related to this. And a simple thing that you can try is just giving yourself a self massage as well. And the best way to do that is to be able to put your arm over and massage the opposite shoulder like this. Just feel if there's any tension, just give it a little rub. I mean, it's a really nice thing to do, and it's going to help you with that headache situation as well. Jaw tension can be a big thing. We can grind our teeth, so make sure that you're stretching your jaw. And I know that sounds weird, but just opening up as wide as you can, wiggling it around, because these muscles can get really, really tense and really, really tight. You've got to make sure that you're keeping it mobile and you're keeping it moving, and that's going to help possibly with the headaches as well. Now, dizziness can be another common experience that people have, and this can be quite often because the blood is distributed differently. You know, you're not necessarily needing much blood to your brain, you're needing it to your internal muscles and your, you know, your organs and stuff, that you can take action and move quickly. So dizziness can sometimes be a problem, and anxiety can tinker around with your blood pressure as well, because obviously your heart is pumping faster, your blood pressure is going to be higher, and this can sometimes lead us to be dizzy as well. Make sure you give yourself some time, make sure you just sit down for a moment, get yourself a drink and look after yourself. So as you can see, there's lots of different symptoms that are a bit weird and you wouldn't necessarily immediately associate with anxiety. So if you have got any of these going on, then don't worry too much. It probably is just because of your anxiety, but it just is another sign that your mind and body work as the same system. And the best way to approach anxiety is to tackle it from both angles. You've got to tackle it mentally and learn some mental skills, but you've also got to learn how to relax your body as well. So if you found this useful, please give it a like, please subscribe, and if you're interested in learning more about anxiety management and how you can live a life beyond anxiety, then please visit beyondanxietymethod.com. There's lots of cool resources over there that you can visit, and also a free workshop masterclass that you can join around beating anxiety too. So my name is David Williams, coming to you from the Beyond Anxiety Method. Have an amazing day. You have got this. You're incredible, and don't you ever forget it. I'll see you soon, guys.